A photographer was invited to a socialites party in New York City as a guest. When he entered the front door, the hostess greeted him and said, "I love your pictures, they're wonderful. You must have a fantastic camera." He didn't say anything until the dinner was over. Then he addressed the hostess and said, "That was a wonderful dinner. You must have a fantastic stove." Photography done well is not as simple as some people might think it is. It's about understanding your equipment and realizing the factors that make a great photo. Whether you're doing it as a hobby or a profession, you should always know the basics. Ansel Adams, who is a famous photographer in 1980s, stated, "Ideally, the photographer will choose basic equipment of adequate quality with nothing that is inessential." There are many aspects involved in photography. 4 of the most important topics I would like to discuss are the basic parts of a camera, accessories, lighting, and composition. Now I would like to explain the 9 basic parts of your camera. How many of us have been in a situation where someone handed you a camera and asked you to take their picture, and you had no idea how to use it? Cameras are not created equal. They vary from model to model. Always read your owner's manual before operating your camera. It's important to know all the parts of the tool that you'll be using. The light-proof box is basically the camera body that allows light only to be entered at one point. Lenses are the optical glass that gathers light rays to form an image. The light sensor is the film or the digital device that records the image. The viewfinder is what you will look through to compose your picture. Focus control is located either on your lens barrel, or some cameras have automatic focus. The shutter limits the amount of light into the camera body. The shutter release just activates the shutter. The aperture is like the iris of the eye. It dilates to a variable size to allow light in. And the film advance and image display just tells you how many pictures are left that are available to be taken. Now that I've gone over the basics, let me tell you a little bit about accessories, what you might want or need. Accessories are not critical, but they can enhance the quality and performance of your photography. Tripods and monopods stabilize your camera. If you're hand holding your camera and you're having a long exposure, that causes camera shake and your subject may be out of focus. The monopod is less expensive than the tripod and also can be a space saver in a crowded situation. Filters come in different sizes and types, and they attach to the end of your lens. There are polarizing filters that cut glare and reflection, and color filters that allow certain colors to be entered, and they hold back other colors. Exposure and light meters are described by Neil Creek with Digital Photography School. An extremely talented photographer may be able to guess a near enough exposure, but a light meter is a far more accurate and convenient way to do that. Although we know the working parts of the camera, I would like to discuss lighting options. Whether we realize it or not, lighting plays an important part in the mood of our picture. Light has 3 different characteristics: intensity, direction, and color. Natural light is light provided by the sun, from dusk to dawn, from shade or indirect or direct sunlight. The limits are endless. The New York Institute of Photography describes available light photography uses only the existing light in a scene, other than the outdoor sunlight. For example, available light can be illumination from a household lamp, a fireplace, or a neon sign. Artificial light are floodlights, spotlights, umbrellas, strobe, flash. Those are typically used in a studio setting, but they can be used outdoors as well. Now to the composition of our photograph. Thinking about how we want our final product to look like can be a little challenging, but here's some guidelines to help you. Always have a clear subject. What's your picture about? Have it simple, no distractions, eliminate anything that's not necessary. You can use the rule of thirds, which I've shown here. The thirds that intersect in these 4 areas, you can place your object there to view Your viewer's attention will be focused there. Framing techniques are things such as trees or fences, or even this is a framing technique. You can have selective lighting that creates a mood. Leading lines also draw the viewer's attention to your subject, such as roads or buildings. You can have a selective focus only on your subject and the rest of the background is blurred, which is caused by just focusing your attention on the subject, and that is called bokeh background. Repetition and patterns can re-emphasize your desired message. And slow or fast motion can evoke excitement or reflection. Most importantly, I hope I've been helpful in familiarizing you with some of the basics of taking a good photograph. Today I've discussed the 4 main topics in photography: the basic parts of a camera, your accessories, lighting, and composition. Just as our photographer at the New York City party knew, it's not about how expensive or fantastic your camera is, it's knowing how to use it.